So I found this quote online that I kind of liked. It says, "Great taste must have elegance and a lovely heart to be an excellent woman, that it does." Now, we're talking about the attractive things women can do that tell a man you have class. And I'm not gonna lie to you, when I was looking up stuff online, I think different people may have different interpretations on what they consider to be classy, all right? But I think that what I'm going to lay out for you today is pretty universal for most people. And at the very least, even if it's not classified as classy, all right, it is still going to be a very attractive trait that will cause a man to view you in high regard, in a greater light, all right? So to get right to it, the first attractive thing that tells a man you're classy is that you avoid drama, all right? So here's the thing. Classy women ain't got time for the nonsense, all right? Ain't got time to be pulled into the gutter, dealing with people and all their negativity. You hold yourself in higher regard. You love yourself too much to want to engage in that. And men find it attractive when a woman is not all into the drama, because unfortunately, there are women who thrive, well, not thrive, who live for the drama, who are drawn to the drama. And because of that, they constantly bring drama to the man. And that's not what he wants. That's not attractive. That's not endearing. It does not help move the relationship to a better place. So as a woman, and I know a lot of people say, oh yeah, I'm not with the drama, I'm not into that, but aren't very mindful of the little ways they start to go down that rabbit hole, so to speak. Whether it be about too much gossip. Sometimes you may think it's harmless talk, but that harmless talk turns into drama. It's also being too consumed by it. Maybe it's not even real life drama. It's drama on TV, where I've seen women that they watch these shows and it infuriates you what you saw on the show. And now you're letting that drama consume you. And all of that does not play out well. And forget about just how the man views it and what's attracted to him. Allowing drama in your life isn't healthy for you. All right? So these tips I'm giving, these signs I'm going to give, think about how it's important for you first. All right? And the life that you want to live and the environment that you want to create. So learn how to recognize drama in advance. Okay? So for example, I'm just going to use something that I do. I don't argue. And when I say I don't argue, I'm not getting no back and forth, yelling, all that. No. I don't care if it's in real life or on the internet. And the minute I recognize I have someone in front of me who's not really trying to have a conversation, to listen and have an adult discussion about whatever it is, then I will not engage and I will exit right away. There's a quote that says, you don't have to invite yourself into every argument that comes your way. You got to be able to see it, step away from it. All right. But then also be mindful of is what I'm doing or considering doing going to add to the possibility of drama occurring. All right. That's how we help avoid it at all costs. We have to see it in advance, because sometimes drama hits you out of nowhere and you get caught up in the moment. And again, it's not good for you. It's not a good reflection of you. And it doesn't speak to class. All right. So be very, very mindful of that. All right. So now the second attractive thing that tells a man you have class is self-respect. All right. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. I do think that self-respect is one of those things that can vary from person to person, how they perceive what is self-respect. All right. So whereas some people may view self-respect as dressing very conservatively, and to them, you can't be classy if you're going out the house looking a certain kind of way, to somebody else, they may be a little bit more liberal with how they think someone should be able to dress, and they won't view it as, well, she's not classy because she's maybe provocatively dressed. Okay. So I do think that varies, but I do think that there is sexy and there is you trying really hard. Okay. And again, where someone draws the line can vary, but I think, like, I'll tell y'all, like, for me, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm someone who would encourage my partner to dress sexy. I like my partner dressing sexy, all right? It doesn't mean that I want everything all super hanging out, but I want her to feel good. I would want, when I look at her, it looks good to me. And I'm a much more flexible or liberal person in that regard, all right? Whereas, again, the next guy may look at the way that I would have a partner of mine dress like you're tripping. and that's a problem. So anyways, the opinions will vary, but I do think that, like I said, one, there's sexy and there's you trying really hard. There's also a level of, like, sometimes you walking out the house looking a hot mess. That ain't classy. All right. Like, again, it's so hard to pinpoint what hot mess would be because of the varying opinions. But I think you as a woman know. You as a woman know. And I do understand that sometimes we can get very comfortable. Again, I'll use myself, even though I'm a man. Once upon a time, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I used to walk out the house looking like a bum. Like, straight up. I used to go to the gym with ripped shirt, paint all over the shirt. I don't know how the paint got all that. Paint all over the shirt, shorts looking a mess, sneakers looking garbage. Like, it was like a bum. And so, or bum me might be the better word to use. And I'll be honest, I come from a family that can be a little bougie. and they're like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you walking out the house like this? Okay. And so that wouldn't exude class, right? And for me, I didn't care. And for you as a woman, if you just don't care, okay, cool. But I had to accept what this conveys to people who see us and how we feel about it is going to be two different things. So whereas I don't care, it's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest, as I became more popular on the internet, I had to become more mindful of how I walk outside the house. And I think that, yes, as a woman, how you present yourself is one form of the self-respect, but also just how you overall carry yourself, not engaging in certain things that, again, it just is a bad look. And I'm trying to navigate this as fairly as possible. But I think that you can come to some own conclusions for yourself of what may be appropriate or inappropriate, what may be things that will bring your self-respect into question, okay? And I think that when you can do that, when you can carry yourself in such a way, it's a good thing, and it's going to be an attractive thing to most men, all right? But let me say this also, because I was going to say this at the end, but I feel like I need to say it now. Now, listen, I ain't gonna lie, I like a little bit of ratchet. All right? A little bit of ghetto. That don't bother me, okay? It doesn't bother me. But I think that where it's important is there's a time and a place, okay? And I'm gonna get more into that later, but it's kind of like, you ever seen the memes that say, get you that person that can do both? Like, that's, to me, I think that everything's about balance. All right. And I think that it doesn't mean you have to act some certain kind of way 24/7. Unless that's just who you are, then cool. Some women are very like, they will never wear certain things, do certain things, whatever. That's their life. But you don't have to feel like be yourself. Be yourself. But I think balance is the most important thing to all of it. All right. But let's continue with the list. All right. So now the third attractive thing that tells a man you're classy is that you are selective and not desperate, all right? So it's never a good look when a man perceives you as easily gotten. And when I say easily gotten, I don't even mean his interaction with you personally. I mean how you're perceived with men in general, all right? If you're viewed as a woman that just, the quality of man that you entertain is perceived to be below what you should be dealing with. So it looks like you're not selective. that works against you. And and of course, in some situations, the man will have no idea who you dealt with. But in situations that he does, I always say, I think people don't realize, men and women, that who we entertain can reflect poorly on us. Whether we want to believe that or not, whether we think it's fair or not, that's what happens. If he hears about or sees that you've been dealing with these dudes that he views as jokers, then he's not going to view you as, oh, she's classy. But if you're viewed as you're not for everybody, you don't be dealing with everybody like that, you're very selective, then yes, that does put you in a greater light. And when it comes to how you interact with him personally, this is where the perception of desperation or not desperate comes in. If you seem to be throwing yourself all over this man, and I want to be very clear, because I don't want women to take that and say, oh, well, I'm just going to hold back and I don't want to seem thirsty. No, thirsty is when, or throwing yourself is when the man's not even welcoming your advances and you still going hard. All right. It's almost like, think about like, I don't know why this is coming to mind, but think about a woman trying to like flirt with a man, rubbing on his shoulder, touching his leg. And this man ain't giving her nothing to work with, all right? He is not taking that and running with it. He's not engaging more. He may be walking away from her. And you going after him and you doing more, okay? This is where it starts to look desperate versus if you're flirtatious with him, but then he's being flirtatious back and there's this kind of a dance going on between you two of engaging and flirting and showing interest. That's not thirsty. You know what I'm saying? And let's also understand this. A lot of times thirsty and desperate is perceived when the person's not that interested in you. So what I mean by that is, think about you as a woman. You can get 10 messages in your inbox right now from men. And if 9 of those men, let's say all 10 said the same thing. Hey, beautiful. All right. And 9 of those 10, you are not attracted to, you have no interest in, you're going to be like, ugh, they're so thirsty. What's wrong with these guys? Oh my gosh. You know, you're not going to look at it in a positive light. But guy number 10, if you're actually interested and attracted to him, you're going to be flattered by it. All right. You're going to view his advance very different. So a lot of times when we attach words like thirsty and desperate, it has a lot to do with there wasn't real interest to begin with. And that's why when I gave you that example, if he's engaging with you, then there's nothing wrong with putting your interest out there. But to get back to the main point, yes, being selective, not being desperate, definitely allows him to view you as a more classy woman. All right, moving along to number 4 on this list. And the 4th attractive thing that tells a man that you're classy is that you have standards and you know your worth. All right. And so again, women who are classy, I don't want to use the word untouchable because that's not what we're going for here. But they have an air of like you have to step up to the plate to come at them. All right. And that comes from them having standards. And not only do they have the standard, they exude that. And again, in the way they carry themselves, in the way they talk, in who they engage with and entertain. And again, what they allow and accept with men engaging with them. It's almost like, here's one example, like a very classy woman, and some may disagree with this, but this is what's coming to me right now. A very classy woman, she's out with a guy, they get to a door. You know what she does? She stops. Because to her is you gonna open this door. All right. Like this is how this goes. Don't you dare think I'm opening my own doors or opening doors. No. This is what you do. She's setting the standard. She doesn't have to have an attitude. She don't have to say a word. Her actions tell you, no, this is what we're expecting and require. Same thing. A woman might go to the car door and stand there. But of course, the smart thing is you don't stand there with no stank face. Like, what's wrong with you, bruh? Why ain't you open my door yet? No, you stand, you smile, you be all sweet. And he's like, oh, okay, my bad, I'm sorry. Boom. And now he's learning like, wow, okay, this is what's required. And men who are genuinely interested will not view that in a negative way. It's only if, again, you turn it into something negative. That's different. But you showing him that this is what you expect, it does exude a level of class. So having those standards, and again, knowing your worth in the sense that you're not going to accept less than you deserve, and that you show an ability that if you are not getting what you deserve, you don't allow yourself to remain in situations where this is happening. All right? That you don't have a problem walking away. Because again, you hold yourself to a certain standard and that man to a certain standard. And let me say that too. Because the standard is not just having standards for him, it's having standards for yourself. How you talk to him, how you deal with him, how you engage, you know what I'm saying? How you live your life. When you exude a quality of standards in your own life, that sends the message as well. So it's important that the standards are well-rounded in all aspects if we're trying to send this message to that individual or any individual that comes your way. All right, now, the fifth attractive thing that tells a man you got class is that you respect others, all right? And not just respect others, but you don't look down on other people. I think sometimes people think, or people connect classy with snobbish, and that should not be connected together, all right? A classy woman, remember the quote I gave in the beginning, it mentioned a lovely heart as part of being classy. And with that lovely heart, there is a respect for others. Even, it's not about looking at people like they're beneath you. You know what I'm saying? It's about giving the same respect to others you expect in return. All right? And understanding how to treat other individuals. That's classy. You know what I'm saying? And that sends such a great message to a man. Again, it's not attractive to a man to see you treat other people like trash. It's not attractive to a man to see you be so judgmental of other people. You know what I'm saying? It speaks to an arrogance. It speaks to a negative energy. These things can turn a man off very quickly. Now, of course, if he is snobbish, if he is elitist, all right, he might gravitate to something like that. All right? Because he may want a woman to be snobbish like him. But typically, that's not what a man desires. And that's not something that is viewed in a good light. So being mindful of how you treat others. Because again, I don't want you just to be nice to him. I want you to be nice to people. You know what I'm saying? Have a good heart all around. Because that's important in this world that we live in. And that's going to help. You know, when you're a blessing in life, more blessings come your way. And having that good heart and treating people right contributes to you being a blessing. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. So I think we can all agree, or I think we're all aware, that men are very visual, right? And a lot of men want to feel physically attracted to their partner.